With that said, let's get into our guest speaker. Just on here now. He hails from Summersville, South Carolina. Just puts a couple new IBOs in, and one got qualified the other day, and they got a new IBO winning yesterday in his organization. They're out there moving South Carolina. All right, so, and ladies and gentlemen, pay very close attention. He's been bringing some great knowledge, and I love the videos he's had for us lately. So, ladies and gentlemen, can we give a warm welcome to Regional Director, the one and only Mr. Curtis Evans.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing today? Thank you very much, Mr. Thomas, for having us come on today to try to help as many people as possible. What we are going to do today is kind of go over what we got. I mean, I want you to understand what we have. And I also want you to understand when a new person looks at the business and they say no, it's probably because they don't know. More than likely, it's not because they don't want to do this. It's probably because they don't know. And that's because most people, when they go to college, they go to get a degree, so they got to major in this or that. They're majoring in accounting, and major in business, major in whatever they're majoring in, engineering or whatever. And they spend 4 years learning that skill so they can go out and get a job. Now, we all understand that. Go get a good job, get a good education so you can get a good job, and don't leave that job, retire that job. That's what I was told when I was growing up. And most people are told the same thing. And the system is just bad. It's just a bad system. It really is. It's good if you're the employer that's working and you need people, and then when you don't need them, you let them go. So when people look at this business for the first time, you can't really get upset with them if they don't get started because they don't know. They've been trained to do something completely different. And that different was they weren't trained to look at a business and evaluate a business. They have no idea how to evaluate a business. So you got to almost come from where they're coming from and help them along some. Mr. Thomas does a good job with that when he shows people how to do an effective presentation, not just the information. Sometimes the information is not enough. Some people just don't pick it up. Some things I just don't get naturally. Other than mechanically, I get things naturally. But a lot of things I just don't get naturally. And so a person to just pick up this business, you almost got to have some skills in giving the business presentation. But when I first got started, I told them no. I mean, the man worked 7 months to get me to a presentation. I got to the presentation. They were talking about all kinds of stuff, and they showed $65,000 a month. Suppose you got 10% of that. I said, $65,000 a month? That don't even make sense. It does not even make sense. This business has the capability. When I started, I went to a convention because they told me I needed to go to Dallas. And they introduced a guy that went up on stage who was chewing tobacco, and he was making at the time $1 million a month. His name was Paul Overson. He's since deceased. He's since died. But you see, for an average person, that don't make any sense. If you make $50,000 a year in 20 years, you'll have $1 million if you kept all that. $50,000 a year, 20 years later, you have what? $1 million. And then you guys are telling me that this thing will do $1 million a month? So an average person that looks at a business like this may not get it. It's a good chance they won't because they didn't go to a B school like Harvard or Yale or something where they're taught to evaluate businesses. So what we're going to do today is go through just a little bit, and I think I'm ready to share this time. So I'm going to try to do it. I don't think I'm going to lose you this time. So let's go ahead and share. And I'm going to show you the new thing that we're looking at, okay? But they broke it down. Our presentation broken down to a way that an average person can pick it up. Okay, so what you need to do is learn this presentation. And what we need to do is learn from Mr. Torelli last Friday. He explains why some people make this crazy money and some people don't. And why because you're working, you're doing your work and you're getting paid for what you do. But what you need to do is teach other people how to do a presentation so that they can do a presentation. So like Mr. Thomas today, he might do 2 or 3 presentations, but he might have 10,000 presentations given. He might have 1,000 presentations given because he's teaching people how to do what? A presentation. And so that's what we need to learn how to do. And he has a way of doing that. So let's go ahead. Let's start where I left off last week.
In a world racing forward where technology can analyze, automate, and even anticipate our needs, it's easy to believe the future belongs to artificial intelligence. Everywhere you look, there's another app, another tool, another update promising to make life easier. And yet somehow people feel more disconnected than ever. But look closer. Behind every breakthrough, every connection, every moment that truly matters, there's something no algorithm can replicate: us. Because progress isn't powered by processors, it's powered by people. Technology can streamline the work, but it can't shake your hand, look you in the eye, or believe in your dreams more than you do. It can automate a task, but it can't build a relationship. It can't spark the kind of hope that pushes someone to take the next step. At ACN, connection and community are the foundation of everything we do. And while technology can support us, it can never replace us. No matter how technology advances, our business will always be built on people helping people. We are powered by people and driven by events where our belief grows, our vision becomes clearer, and we become a force of change. At ACN, our strength comes from the relationships we build, the belief we share, and the moments that remind us we are better together. The real story of ACN is best told by those living it. These are just a few IBOs who have been empowered by the people who make ACN what it is.
This company has meant so much to me for the last 28 years. I got started with this company because the concept of being able to have an income like this made sense. What I didn't understand was that the impact of the community, the relationships, the friendships, all those things that I had not anticipated that would come from it. If you'd have told me that 20 years ago, a business that I started to create some extra money would end up leading me to my family, my wife, my children, the great people we get to work with, I would have never imagined all of that.
One of the greatest gifts that ACN has given me and my family is who you get to go do life with. Imagine being able to spend time with people that are into personal development and giving back and making a difference. We've had so much fun together inside the business, outside the business, but I truly believe the greatest blessing this company's given us is the relationships that we have.
I've been with ACN for 30 years. One of the biggest surprises that came with this business was the camaraderie, the community, and the mentorship. We never expected that.
And now in 2026, we continue to move forward with clarity and purpose, because everything we do, every goal, every win, every breakthrough is stronger when we do it together. This year, we will lean into each other to build bigger, go further, and create something extraordinary. Because at ACN, we are better together.
Doing it this way. So as y'all can see, you need to get excited. You need to get excited about showing somebody the business. Somebody can sign up in the business for $300, $300, and have the capability, if they go at this, to do what? To knock out $6,500. Suppose they mess up. And they only get $3,000. Suppose they mess up and they only make $1,500, right? So we have the capability of putting a lot of money in their hand. Now, why is the company throwing this money out there right now? Well, because a lot of people are hurting right now. A lot of people are going to need to do this right now. Number two, Mr. Thomas knows that you can come into a company, but you can come in at the right time and make a lot of money. It's all about timing. If the economy is doing bad and you're working hard, you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to be picking up people, showing them how to do it. And they're going to know some people. They're going to go back to work and they're going to know some people. And they're going to sign them up. And so our job is during this explosion here, going from $200 with 5 customers to almost $1,000 with the 5 customers. That is not a small difference. That's a big difference. $200 we had a few weeks ago with 5 customers in the system versus now with 6 customers in the system making what? $1,000. That is not a small amount of money. $1,000 extra into somebody's house, and they are still working their job. They still have their job, and they made an extra $1,000. $6,000 a month, and they still got their job, and they made an extra $6,000. Why did they do that? Why? They were behind on their house payment. They were about to lose their house. Why did they do that? They were behind on their car payment. They were behind on 2 car payments, 3 car payments. They got to get caught up. They'll see the value, and if you help them solve the problem, they'll come into the business. They got a problem, and you help them solve the problem. So that's what I have today. Our job is to help people solve a problem. And what I learned from Mr. Torelli last week is as quickly as you can, show them how to do a presentation. Now, we're going to do it for them until they're up and running naturally, but try to get them to be able to do that presentation of 1 through 10 that Mr. Thomas talks about all the time. We got to get them to do that so that we want to hold them up. Because sometimes we're holding up the rep. You have some people that come in here. When I came in, they showed me the presentation. I took the thing and went running with it. I was putting in a rep 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I said, this is what you want me to do? They said, yeah, do this. I didn't have nobody help me. I was on my own, you know, and you went out there and you showed the plan. People said, no, 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 no. It didn't bother me. No's don't bother me. Okay, so I need you to be tough. You guys have been trained by the best of the best. Mr. Thomason on his channel, you've been trained by the best of the best. And then your company comes out with something like this, we're ready to run. And get your reps over to his channel at noon. It's noon over here. I don't know what time it is there. Get your people on the channel so that they can learn as well. So that's all I have for today. Thank you very much. I hope I didn't take too much time, but today at least you were able to see everything. Thank goodness for my wife. She was able to help me there. Mr. Thomas, the floor is all yours.